magic in itself does, because we know of that. People with magic are aware of other people with magic.
Maybe her pretties, like, suffocated or, like, hide it.
Maybe there's more to the pretties.
Yeah.
That could be. Something is off, though, about her.
Yes.
And people tend to notice. So, not exactly the easiest thing to hide, especially when it's an asset to your investigation.
Yeah.
She's going to be everywhere with you.
It was funny. I don't even remember what the joke was, but at one point in this chapter, Richard makes like a sideways comment, like a jab at Toby, and Lunetta laughs about it. Or maybe it's at the blood. Like, he says something
at the
about
blood in general. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lunetta laughs about it, and Toby's like,
damn it, shut up.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me. I'm short. Damn it.
But Toby assures Richard that he loves his sister. Richard shouldn't believe everything he hears. And Richard tells him, I haven't just heard it from Lumholt. I've heard it from many other people. And Toby assumes it's Sanderholt that's talking.
Right, when actually I got it on Facebook, and that's how I can verify that it's true.
Yeah, because immediately Toby's brain goes to the cook, like he should have killed her. But we know that Richard didn't even get that information in Aidendrill. He learned it from Addie. He knows,
long-ass time ago.
Yeah, he knows, like, the heart of what the blood is about.
Mm-hmm. And we have a very crystal clear horror story to go along with it, so we know the intensity with which you should not like the blood.
Yes, and I think maybe that's what... Richard doesn't accuse Toby of some stuff or, like, call him out, maybe, because he does know very clearly what the blood is about, and he's not going to be turned by anything Toby says. So he's just trying to get a gauge on what Toby's telling him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
How much are you willing to let me know? That way he can assess how honest he's really being with him.
Yeah.
This whole chapter, they're going back and forth, and they are sussing each other out for the information they need. They both effectively get it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a success for everybody, but there's a lot of nuance in this conversation with things that they're saying or not saying, alluding to, and both of these guys, Richard and Toby, have to be being very careful.
Yeah.
With every word they say, otherwise they might give up a little bit too much information, and as it happens, they do.
Yeah, I mean, Richard, not only has he given up the fact that, I mean, I think it was kind of obvious that he had magic. Even though we know the cape isn't necessarily him doing the magic, but he has magic because he can use a cape.
Right.
And everybody would assume he has magic because of that. So
all Toby needs to know is that he was invisible and now he's not. So he has the gift in some capacity.
Yeah.
He may not know everything he's capable of.
Yeah. So, yeah, he kind of knew he was a wizard before that, but the silver piece is confirmation of that.
That he is the wizard from the Palace of the Prophets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we don't know exactly what else Lunetta has gleaned from this conversation yet, because the chapter kind of ends before they leave.
She's kind of like the Spidey sense. She was itching right off the bat, saying, hey, we got to get out of here once he came in the room. So I think that was their first confirmation, and now they know that he's from the Palace of the Prophets. He did the invisible trick, so he's definitely from there, and he's got magic. This is the guy we're looking for.
Just... Lunetta, during this conversation, this private conversation, does not say anything to Toby about what Richard says. She stays quiet the whole time. So I'm interested to see what her report of Richard is going to be.
Oh, later? When they're...
Yeah, when they're alone. But Toby asks, before they leave, Toby asks Richard for the same chance that he is asking the people for. He's like, this is a fresh start. You asked us not to judge you on the past people, like, I'm new, I'm cool, we're all cool, man. Like, fresh start from here. It's gonna be an opportunity for peace.
Yeah, he's trying to reshape the way that Richard views the blood, that whole group in general.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know you've heard bad things, but don't judge me on all of those other things. Me and you can start fresh right now. He'll come around to the idea of the blood of the fold and what we do eventually, because we'll be friends.
Yeah. It's obviously, self-preservation, but
100%.
He's very talented at being able to, at least in his mind from what we can see, switch back and forth. Like, he thought the Imperial Order was going to be here, and he was ready to be, like, all himself, his true self in front of everybody and be awesome. Now Richard's here, he's
showing
in
the
charge.
tattoos.
Yeah. Now Richard's here and he's in charge, so he's pulling it back and he's trying to take a different tact and be like, I'm ready to be under your rule and do things the right way.
Very versatile and very charming.
Yeah.
Tries to be, I mean, and you would have to be for something like this. It's like espionage. You know, I'm going to smile through my fucking teeth at you to let you know that we're cool.
Yeah.
But we're not.
We're not.
And I'm coming for you.
Well, and, you know, Richard takes this opportunity to tell him that, you know, I've seen the Keeper work in many different ways. He's out there boldly sometimes. You can see what it is. But a lot of times, good people are actually doing the Keeper's work, and sometimes without even realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells him not to chase the shadows that he's creating. Like,
right.
Toby gets confused at it, but Richard's basically saying, like, you could be the one doing the bad shit, and you don't even realize it. And you're just, like, making your own problems.
Literally, like what I was talking about earlier, a dog chasing its own shadow.
Yeah.
They will do that for hours because, oh my God, what is it? And you're creating the shadow. You're chasing the shadow. You're never going to catch it. And you're just literally running around in circles.
Yeah.
Now,
doing the Keeper's work.
Right. I was going to add to that. A dog is innocent enough, but what this guy's doing is while he's running around in circles, he's murdering people.
Yeah.
So, so it's very, very bad for him to just be spinning his wheels at all.
Yes. But Toby says, I know the evil I chase. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm safe. It's cool, man. So on their way out, Toby turns and he congratulates Richard one more time on his engagement. And he asks to be reminded of the Queen's name.
Okay, first, he was threatened. And then he was forced to make a decision. Not that he's made it yet. He's trying to allude to the fact that they will officially side with, you know,
Gave
Richard.
him his knife, right?
Yeah. There was an unsaid agreement of sorts between them. But he's trying to be compliant. And Richard tops that off with a threat. And then coming back from the threat, he's like, oh, yeah, congratulations, by the way, you're getting married. Hey, we're buddy-buddy again. Like, no, we're not. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or surrender like I want you to, and then maybe we'll discuss it. But until then, you're still very much the enemy.
Well, yeah, and he's asking her name, and you're like, why? Why do you care? Why does it matter? You have other things to worry about right now than my fiance's name. It's weird that you're asking me this right now.
Yeah, I mean, we glazed over it before. We hit that topic once already. Why bring it up again? That would stick out to me as, okay, so you're really interested in this. And again, back to the topic that Richard doesn't want him to chase. Yeah,
it may have been weird. Well, and to be fair, he doesn't know that that's who that is, so he's not back to that topic. But for Richard knows it's the same person. So him going back to that should freak Richard the fuck out. And he should immediately be like, no.
He hasn't dropped it yet.
Even
that's
if it would
what he
be
knows.
Weird. What do you mean?
Well, that means that Toby hasn't dropped it yet. Like, he's still very much going to chase after the Mother Confessor.
Yeah, and maybe it's because he doesn't know that that's her name, so technically he's not dropping it, because he's not asking about the Mother Confessor, he's asking about Kaylin, but Richard knows it's the same person.
Right.
So he should be weirded out by it.
And much more careful with her name.
Yeah.
Don't say her name again.
Like, I don't know, this just goes back to the thing that I'm confused about the death spell, just because there is the inconsistencies with the some people remember, some people don't, and he's using her previous name. I would like this a lot, but okay. Now, Al pointed out in our comments on Facebook that she has to use the last name Amnel as the Queen of Gallia, because that's the family name.
Right.
So that makes sense. Okay, I get that. I
so
totally
that
do.
You saying Queen Amnel of Gallia does not throw off any sort of actual trace to Kaylin.
Right. Like, they could have used the name Carol or some shit. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's towing with a weird line that then makes it confusing as to if Richard and Sanderholt hadn't met up, and so she didn't know that she was still alive. If Richard made the announcement that he was going to marry Kaylin Amnel, and she still remembered Kaylin Amnel and knew she was dead, that would be fucking weird. Yeah,
that would force her to ask some questions.
And,
like how, because she's gone.
Yeah, and is Sanderholt the only one that remembers Kaylin's name as Kaylin? And is it because they were so close? Because Kaylin was close to other people at the palace. She just was closest with Sanderholt, and she's the only one she saw when she came back. So.
And apparently some of those other people don't remember her name either.
So what?
Right.
I mean, maybe I'm just being dumb, and maybe you guys understand it, and you're like, it's super clear. You guys are being super dumb, but I'm really trying to wrap my brain around it, because it seemed easy when I first read it, but now that I'm thinking about it, there's inconsistencies, and the fact that he uses a real fucking name just pisses me off. I feel like witness protection programs, that's like the number one thing.
They always change the name.
Always change the name. So, yeah, okay. Anyways. After Richard tells him that it's Kaylin Amnell, Toby tells me he's not going to forget again. And if I was Richard, I'd be like, God damn it!
Shit. Well, he's leaning in. He knows that there was a death spell, and so he's like, there's no possible way that this guy can know her or remember her. And of course, we have questions about how that is or how that isn't. But he figures it's totally harmless. Because at best, this guy is going to turn around, take 10 steps, and fucking forget her name.
But dude, this guy fucking thinks it's a hoax. That's like, he came into your room.
I'm not arguing with you about that.
He thinks her death was a hoax. And it was. And now you're saying her real name? What the hell?
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing about that. I definitely don't think he should have said the name. I just think that he's relying on that magic to do what it's supposed to do. But there again, like Richard himself remembers, it might have something to do with the love he has with her and the confessor's magic that doesn't affect him. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I think that if you guys understand it better than we do, you should let us know by writing an email to podcastatt@gmail.com or leave us a text or voicemail at 616-259-0025. If you want to, you can check out all of our social medias at Podcast ATT or make a pledge at patreon.com/Podcast ATT, and we would appreciate the hell out of it. Thank you guys so much for listening today. We will see you real soon.
Bye.